Champions Cup pool stage, completed it, mate. And there are your round of 16 knockout fixtures that are coming in the first weekend of April. So we've got a little bit of a break now while the Six Nations happens. Then it'll be back to Champions Cup for these games. In this video, I'm going to review the final games of round 4, pick a team of the week from round 4, and just review the format and these fixtures. Because there's some good and bad. I think there's a discussion worth having. So that's what I want to do on this video. And I'd love to know your comments as well. So get stuck in. And yeah, those are the fixtures. How did we come to those? Well, there were 3 games that happened on Sunday. Toulouse beat Bath. Was it 31 points to 19? They won at home. Really competitive effort from Bath, who've had a great season from where they've come from. And they've just got some players that are really blossoming. And with Finn Russell pulling the strings now, it's just a very different Bath team. And they went to Toulouse and at one point looked like they could pull off a major shock. But the class told in the end, with Jack Willis, a menace at the breakdown, with Thomas Ramos, just world-class player, providing the moments of magic, including a little dink through from Dupont, and Ramos finished it off. But Ramos, with that 30-metre pass, perfectly arced, outside the Bath defence, perfectly into the run of Juan Cruz Malia, who didn't break stride and gassed it in at the corner. Class came to the fore in the end. A good win for them. La Rochelle also coming into some good form. They went away to Sale, just up the road from where I am in Manchester. 24 points to 37 they won. Although truthfully, it was 2 late tries from Sale that made that scoreline look a bit more respectable after La Rochelle had basically done the job. And with guys like Lavani Bottia here running over Ben Curry and Awini Atonio and Will Skelton just relentlessly making Sale hit them. I mean, I can't imagine what it's like having to repeatedly tackle multiple men who are like 150 kilograms. It's quite something. And then in the final game of the pool stages, Bion got a really good win at home to Exeter. They had nothing to play for beyond pride, and they put in a real show for their fans in their first year in this competition. Exeter Chiefs have had a great competition so far as well. They've managed to get themselves a home tie in spite of that loss. And bearing in mind where Exeter have come from, that's a fantastic result as well. But Bion, when they click, oh my word, they play some amazing rugby. Scored the try of the pool stages, one of the tries of the season. Just a flowing move, forwards and backs, offloads all over the shop. You love to see it. So really fun to watch. And that brought things to a close. So I've been talking in glowing positive terms. There is one little negative thing I want to bring up. And it relates to the officiating as well from this game. So David Jenkins, who's captain of Exeter Chiefs, he'll be captain of Wales during the Six Nations. He got a yellow card for that tackle, which did make contact with the head neck area of the Bion player. However, and I understand, look, player safety and welfare, I understand the high tackle framework, I understand all of the factors that referees have to consider, but I thought, this is what I thought, all of these things were being brought into the game to try and change player behaviour, to try and stop incidents from happening. You can never stop accidents from happening on a rugby field. We saw that on Friday night with Josh Caulfield and his boot making contact with Finlay Beelam's head. Accidents happen. That was given a red card. Personally, I wouldn't have given it a red card. Definitely wouldn't have given this a yellow. What more are you expecting David Jenkins to do than, look, bend his knees to lower his height. He's a big man. Hinge at the waist to basically 90 degrees. I mean, I don't know what you would say if you were a coach of Exeter other than, oh yeah, if you're really tall, don't bother tackling short people because you might get a yellow card even if you do everything right. We always hear people talk about rugby being a sport for all shapes and sizes. We'll prove it. That shouldn't have been a yellow card. As it is, I don't believe it would have affected the result, so no worries there. I'm just terrified that something like that's going to happen in a really tight knockout game in the weeks and months ahead, or in the Six Nations. So just one to think about. Maybe a bit more recalibration is needed. So the pool's finished with, and the top 2 teams get home round of 16 ties. The 3rd and 4th position have to travel away, and it's seeded based on the points. All the top of the pools finish in positions 1, 2, 3, 4, and they get ranked based on the points they have. 2nd position 5, 6, 7, 8, and so on. 1 place 16, 2 place 15, and it goes on. And that's how we've ended up with the pool stage where we are. Pool 2, it's Toulouse and Quins, with Bath and Racing also progressing, Northampton Saints and Exeter getting home ties, Glasgow and Munster getting through and going on the road, and Leinster and Stormers are at home, and Stormers are at home to La Rochelle, who've already been there, and Leicester as well. They play Leinster, they've just played this weekend. So it's a strange one, actually. That's one of the things that came up. Oh, actually, I will just touch on this. This is the points that the various leagues got through the whole pool stage, and I wasn't expecting the Premiership to come out on top. But when you actually look at the fixtures, I think the one thing you can say is, yes, the Premiership teams may have, on average, scored more points, but it's a bit more feast and famine. The French League and the URC have the best teams in the competition and the poorest teams in the competition. But you only need one team to win the title, and I think it will come from the French League or the URC, because, I mean, when you look at how the draw shakes down, it's highly unlikely an English team's going to... It'll be a massive result if an English team gets to a semi-final, and that could not happen. And the best chance of that, maybe some might argue, and the only chance, certainly the only one I'd put any money on, would be Northampton getting to a semi-final. I don't see any path to a semi realistically for any other English team. So yes, more points, but the best teams are from those other two leagues. But I've been really, really pleased with how well the Premiership has competed. As for the format of the competition, what do you think? Actually, I think the pool stage has been okay. I don't think there is a silver bullet. The old competition with 5 pools of 4 teams and the top 8 progress, what I liked about that was you got the elite when it came to the knockout stages, and you didn't carry any dead weight. And because there was only 20 teams in the competition, you didn't get average teams making it into the competition at all, really. And I like that about it. But then there were some dead rubber games in the pool stages. I think the pool stage has actually been okay. There's a bit of the luck of the draw about who you get at home, who you get away, because you don't have the back-to-back fixtures. But I just think we can't keep tinkering with it. So maybe we just need to stick with it as it is. The issue I have with the fixtures is that 5 out of the 8 of these matches that we're going to see in April are repeats of fixtures we've already seen in the pool stage. Bordeaux have already played Saracens. Toulouse and Racing and Exeter Bath are 2 of the ones that aren't repeats because they're from the same country. And anyway, but Leinster, all the matches on this side: Leinster v Leicester, Stormers v La Rochelle, Northampton v Munster, the Bulls v Lyon. We've seen these games already, and how do you avoid that? I don't think you should actively try and avoid it, so say you have to play someone from another pool. But part of the reason that this is more likely to happen is because of the way the seeding system is done. Think about it. Toulouse got the most points out of any team. In the pool with the team with the most points, you are more likely to have the team that qualified with the fewest points. And that's what happened with Racing 92. So here's my solution to this issue, and I'll come on to my team of the week in a minute. I'm not going to get bogged down in this for too long, but I want to know what you think. Rather than having first seed playing 16, 2 playing 15, 3 playing 14, and so on, as we've seen here, just have the top 8 teams going in one bowl, one pot, and they're the home sides, and have the other 8 teams going in another pot, and they're the away sides. You have a draw, you pull out one home team, you pull out one away team. They're playing each other. For one thing, that would be a more exciting thing to watch. I'd actually sit down and watch that draw. And you could do the same again for the quarterfinals. Whatever 8 teams come through these fixtures, the teams that have the highest seeds from the pool stage go in the home draw. And the other 4 teams go in another pot, and you have the home team, you have the away team, and you do the draw like that. You would actually create a spectacle that might be quite exciting to watch. You could get some legends of the sport that have won the competition before. Get Johnny Wilkinson picking the home team, and Jacques Berger picking the away teams, or whatever you want to do. Just a thought. Let me know what you think. Leave the comments down below on that and anything else, and especially on what you think of my team of the week, which features at Loosehead Prop Joe Marler, who I thought was awesome, destructive scrummaging against Ulster, playing the best rugby of his career, and I hope he can translate that into the Six Nations for England with my England hat on. Our hooker, Jan-Henrik Wessels for the Bulls. Now, I've talked about the incredible depth that South Africa have got, and Malcolm Marx is right up there with the very best in the world, if not the best hooker in the world. He's got a lot of rugby yet to play. But if South Africa need a succession plan beyond Bongi and Banambi, they've got guys like this who are putting their hand up. Tight head prop for Bion, Luke Tangi. He was absolutely outrageous. Yes, he can do the fundamentals, scrummaging stuff, but he can do things that other tight head props can't. That try of the pool stage that I mentioned that Bion scored, Luke Tangi just did this unreal offload to keep the move going, and very few tight head props can do that. Into the second row for Saracens, Maro Itoje basically single-handedly dragged them to a win. He was awesome. And for Leinster, Joe McCarthy is, every time I see him, getting better and better, to the point where I actually was watching the game against Leicester thinking, quite a lot of Leinster fans in the comments of some of the videos about Ireland have mentioned they think Joe McCarthy could start for Ireland in the Six Nations. And I was watching it thinking, they might be right. He is playing that well right now. Courtney Laws at blindside flanker, had to be him. I wish he was still playing international rugby, as I've said a few times. Just imperious performances and a deserved man of the match for him. Jack Willis, I thought he should have got man of the match. Emmanuel Mayafu got it for Toulouse, but I thought Toulouse don't win that game, you could argue, without Jack Willis. He just had crucial turnovers in crucial moments, denied Beno Abano a try by holding the ball up over the line. He was brilliant, and another player I'd love to see still in the mix for England, but he's playing in France, so he can't. At number 8, Gregory Aldrit, who was a proper captain's performance. He's France's captain for the Six Nations coming up. He is just an all-round classy player. It could have been Caelan Doris. He had a really good game for Leinster as well. And there's loads of players in the other positions. I've just realised I haven't really been mentioning the players that were worth a shout. So, hey, give the players a shout in the comments down below. And before I go into the backs, let me just say, if you get value from the channel, if you enjoy the videos, if you love your rugby, then I'd love it if you'd hit subscribe and giving the video a thumbs up. Smash that little thumbs up button, because that helps spread the word. Into the backs then, and Guillaume Rouet was the best scrum half that I saw this weekend in round 4 for Bion. They play such a quick tempo, and his speed of play and speed of thought is so important. So when it clicks, he is at the heart of absolutely everything, and they played some blinding rugby against Exeter. Finn Smith, youngster at the start of his journey, but how mature was his performance away in Thomond Park with a swirling wind, a passionate home crowd, and 14 men on the pitch for the majority of the game, and he just nudged his team into the right parts of the pitch, made great decisions. I was very impressed with Finn Smith. David Niniashvili is my left winger for Lyon. The Georgian winger was exceptional, an absolute live wire, and along with Maro Itoje, for me, the two best players on the pitch. David Creel at inside centre. I've gone for him from the Bulls. Really impressed with him. Like I was watching him going, test potential. I don't know where he is in the rankings with South Africa. I think he can play across the back line. He's got that rangy, smooth kind of style to him. But if wearing that 10 jersey, Dialende, Esterhazy, then you've got this guy coming through as well, and no doubt many other very good players. Gary Ringrose, he was brilliant last week, and he's great again this week. He always is. He just seems to rarely dip below an 8 out of 10. Just a high class individual, a very, very, very good rugby player, and he was at the heart of much of the good stuff that Leinster did in their win. And on the wing, Louis Liner. It wasn't even due to start this game. Came into the starting side when there was an injury to Oscar Beard. Took his chance really well. Took his try incredibly well. I mean, Jacob Stockdale making a total mess up on his own try line did help a little bit. But the guile, the bumping Billy Burns off, the kick, the chase, I mean, you can't knock it. That'll be a memorable one for his highlight reel. And at fullback, I went for Tristan Tedder of Racing 92. Just such a smooth, balanced runner. Really enjoyed watching him. And just kind of shades of Christian Cullen, who's just one of the best players to watch. Just the way he ran. Just, Tristan Tedder, proper talent. And there we go, returning to the fixtures. So let me know what you think about these, about the fact there are 5 out of the 8 fixtures are repeats from the pool stages, my thoughts on how you might tweak the format. Do you have any other more radical ideas? And let me know what you think about that team of the week. I really appreciate your comments down below. I appreciate you hitting the thumbs up button. I appreciate your subscription as well. I'll see you on the next one.